Okay, let's jump in. We're doing a deep dive today into something pretty special, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all about how to capture those really precious family stories. The ones from the people we love before those memories start to, well, slip away.
It's such a universal thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because as the guy we're looking at really points out, every family, like every single one, has this sort of hidden treasure trove of moments and experiences.
Totally. Stories worth saving.
Exactly. Perspectives that, deserve to be preserved.
Absolutely. And our source for this is it's a really practical guide. It's focused specifically on interviewing loved ones.
Hmm.
So our mission here is basically to pull out the most useful steps, the key ideas from it, so that you walk away feeling, I don't know, ready, maybe even inspired to actually do this yourself.
And the problem it tackles is it's simple, but it
Mhm.
feels kind of urgent. Time, it just keeps going.
Right.
And those vivid life stories, they can fade,
Mm.
or worse, get lost completely if we don't consciously try to record them.
So the guide frames interviewing as like an act of love, a way to honor them.
Precisely. An active way to honor their life, their legacy. It's not just about facts.
Okay, so where does the guide say to start? The practical how-to?
Well, it dives right in there. It says the very first thing is setting the right stage. Creating an atmosphere where stories can just come out naturally.
Makes sense. Like the environment matters.
Hugely.
Yeah.
The physical setting is a big deal according to the source.
Uh,
It suggests picking a place where your loved one feels totally comfortable, really at ease.
like their own living room, maybe their favorite chair, something like that.
Exactly that. And crucially, it says you need to actively minimize distractions.
Ah, right. The practical stuff.
Yeah. Turn off the TV, phones on silent.
Yeah.
Maybe even, let other family members know you need some quiet time. It's about creating this little bubble, calm, focused.
Okay. So you're building connection, not just conducting an interview. I like that.
Mhm.
Once the space is right, then it moves to prepping the conversation, planning it out.
Yes, exactly. And this is where the guide gets really insightful, I think. It's not just like listing dates or facts.
Okay.
It really pushes for open-ended questions, the kind designed to spark stories, emotions, less when did you move,
Yeah.
and more like, oh, what did it feel like moving into that new house?
Oh, that's a great distinction. Feeling over just chronology.
That's it. And the guide gives some wonderful examples, prompts about sensory details,
Like what?
asking about, say, the smell of their childhood kitchen or the sounds of their old neighborhood. These specific things can just unlock floods of memory, way more than factual questions sometimes.
Yeah, I could see that.
Other prompts it suggests are things like asking about big turning points in their life or people who really influenced them, or maybe moments of just unexpected joy or surprise.
But even with good questions, it shouldn't feel like a script, right? It needs
Okay.
to be flexible.
Oh, absolutely not rigid. The
Yeah.
guide is really strong on this. Don't make it feel like an interrogation. Have your questions? Sure, have them ready. But be totally prepared to just toss them aside if your loved one goes off on a tangent that's, fascinating.
Follow their lead.
Yes, the real goal, it suggests, often comes from those unexpected paths. So active listening, flexible listening, that's key.
And listening actively.
Yeah.
How does the guide suggest you show you're really tuned in?
It talks about nonverbal cues and also reflective listening.
So nodding, eye contact.
Exactly. Nodding, eye contact, maybe simple things like, or wow, or tell me more about that. The guide points out that genuinely showing you're interested, it validates their memories.
Right, makes them feel heard.
Yeah, and it makes them feel safer sharing maybe even the more sensitive parts of their story. It's about building that trust right there in the moment.
You mentioned recording earlier. Does the guide get into the nitty-gritty of like audio versus video?
It does, yeah, with some nuance. It notes that, okay, video captures body language, expressions, which is powerful, makes it feel very immediate. But sometimes audio only can feel a bit less formal. Maybe lets the person relax more, speak more freely, without feeling like they're, on camera.
So it depends on the person.
Yeah, their comfort level is probably the deciding factor. Oh, and a crucial tip it gives. Always, always test your recording gear beforehand
Oh, yes. Good one.
in the actual room. Tech glitches are the worst. They can just totally kill the vibe.
Definitely want to avoid that awkward fumble. Okay, so the conversation happens. It's recorded. Then what? Is that it?
No, the guide stresses it's not quite done. You've got to preserve it. And think about how you might share these recordings.
Preservation is key. Backups.
Oh yeah, multiple backups.
Yeah.
Essential. The guide even suggests thinking about creating a dedicated space for them. Maybe like a simple online folder or a shared archive, somewhere other family members can access them easily.
Yeah, so everyone can listen and cherish them later on.
Exactly.
The value here, as the source really puts it, it's so much more than just a recording file. It's like creating a living history, a tribute that celebrates a life, but also it deepens connections, right? Across generations, it really enriches everyone.
It really does. It makes you think, doesn't it? How much wisdom, how much history is just kind of waiting in conversations we haven't had yet.
Absolutely. So, thinking about that, about all those stories potentially waiting in your own family, whose voice, whose memories would you want to make sure you preserve first?